We introduced SwEYEpinch, an intuitive and efficient text entry method in XR. Imagine you're gaming in XR with your headset when your friend shoots you a message. You can simply use SwEYEpinch to input your text and reply to your friend. Making communication a breeze. Efficient text entry in extended reality remains a significant challenge. Today's text entry methods in XR are generally slow, effortful, or contextually limited. Mid-air hand tapping and hand swipe may look intuitive, but both are slow, tiring, and prone to mistakes without tactile feedback. Gaze&Pinch offers more precision, but it forces you to constantly lock your gaze on each key, and every pinch adds extra effort. Gesture alone does not ensure robustness. We must reliably transform noisy eye traces into word candidates. That role is fulfilled by our low-latency decoder. Our decoding algorithm first stabilizes the gaze stream into fixations, then clusters it to a few waypoints. Finally, a template matches the pruned path with spatiotemporal DTW and fuses it with a lightweight engram prior to pruning the top K candidates. Data from our user study one shows our top 1/top 4 matches are higher at millisecond latency, about 77.9%/87.5% in approximately 2.4 milliseconds, compared to iSwipe's approximately 18 milliseconds and lower accuracy. In user study 1, we compared our initial solution, SwEYEpinch Basic, with two widely used input techniques. Let's take a look at them all. First, finger tap. Participants type by directly tapping on the virtual keyboard using their fingers. Second, Gaze&Pinch. Participants focus their gaze on the desired letter and then perform a pinching gesture with their thumb and index finger to type it. Third, SwEYEpinch Basic. Participants start by pinching their thumb and index finger together on the first letter of a word. While maintaining the pinch, they gaze through each letter of the word and release the pinch at the end to input the entire word. The results from user study 1 showed that SwEYEpinch Basic started off with similar performance to finger tap, but over time it outperformed both alternatives, achieving the highest words per minute by the final session. SwEYEpinch Basic also demonstrates a sharp drop in total error rate. As we listened to participants, one pain point stood out: having to look up to check candidates after finishing a swipe. That led to the next question: can live, during trace previews, and the pinch delimiter together raise speed without hurting accuracy? We added 3 friction cutters. First, partial prediction. As the user begins swiping out a word, real-time predictions are generated right over the current key. In most cases, users don't need to complete the entire swipe. If the system correctly predicts the word midway, they can simply release their fingers to input it instantly. Second, swipe cancellation. At any point during the swipe, users can abort the input by directing their gaze at the delete key. Third, deletion peek window. A peek window to the input box is displayed above the delete key while the user's gaze is focused on the delete key to pinch at it, helping users delete more precisely and confidently. We ran a 3-session comparison to isolate the drivers. Are gains from live previews, the pinch delimiter, or both? First, SwEYEpinch Basic, as introduced in user study 1. Second, SwEYEpinch, the improved version as mentioned. Third, SkiMR, a gaze-only swipe method where users start and stop a swipe by dwell on the space key. Fourth, GlanceWriter XR, another gaze-only swipe technique that commits words by moving the gaze in and out the keyboard area. The results from user study 2 showed that SwEYEpinch was the fastest method. SwEYEpinch Basic improved more gradually while both gaze-only methods stayed slower. Importantly, mid-swipe predictions boosted speed without increasing errors, and the pinch delimiter gave users more control, keeping error rates lower than the gaze-only techniques. User study 2 told us why the hybrid works. Live previews cut verification glances, and a tiny pinch gives precise commitment. So next we ask, does this still win against production-style contenders? We pit SwEYEpinch against what users actually meet in products: finger tap with prediction and completion, and hand swipe. First, finger tap, with completion and prediction, works like in user study 1. Participants use their index fingers to type. But now, with prediction and completion, it works more like a phone keyboard, and they don't have to type every letter. Second, hand swipe. Participant will use thumb holding together with index finger gesture and use hand to swipe through letters to type. This chart shows the average words per minute across sessions in user study 3. Finger tap with prediction showed modest improvement, reaching 18.86 WPM by session 3. Hand swipe performed slightly better, leveling off around 20.16 WPM. SwEYEpinch stood out, climbing rapidly to 26.25 WPM, outperforming both other methods by the third session. These results highlight the fast learning curve and strong performance of SwEYEpinch. Against production-style contenders, SwEYEpinch remains fastest with low effort. But do gains keep compounding with routine use? Next, a 7-day, 30-session study to see the real learning curve. User Study 4 included 8 participants across 3 experience cohorts. As shown here, all groups improve over time, but at different rates. Experts start strong and continue to climb steadily. XR experienced users make the fastest early session gains and nearly close the gap, and novices show consistent upward progress throughout the full 30 sessions. Decouple where from when. Let gaze trace intent and a tiny pinch commit it. With mid-swipe previews and low-effort correction, SwEYEpinch is fast, learnable, and scales with everyday use, reaching real keyboard-like speeds in XR.